prayer, preparation, and positivity over family, over family. With prayer, preparation, and positivity over family, over family.
Earlier this year, my brother passed away, and as a result of his passing, I felt like perhaps I could take information, the things that we learned as a family, and make a documentary about how being a vet affects the family. This is the introduction that I came up with. I had every intention of finding a whole lot of information, trying to find people to interview, but life was continuing to happen for me. I wasn't able to go home, and honestly there was a part of me that really didn't even believe that he was gone. And so I had been going through counseling at the time anyway. I actually found out right after counseling about his passing, and so that kind of became a part of my counseling as well. I'm very thankful that my siblings, I have 4 siblings that are still here. I'm very happy that I have 3 siblings that are still here. I really think that we helped each other through the grieving process, which grief does not just happen in a day. It doesn't happen in a month. Here I am months and months later, and I'm actually able to come out and talk about it for real. He was somebody that we cared about. He was someone that we loved, and there was just so much involved. We learned a lot. I personally learned a lot about a person's struggle and how not to minimize it. So I don't want the video to be super serious, but of course it has to be, because this is a serious topic. So I think it's really important when someone passes away that we do take the time to learn from their struggles or learn from their life, good and bad. And because, like, for my children, all they know is the brother or the uncle who had PTSD. I mean, all of their real memories with him was with that. He was always going off to like Afghanistan or something, and they sent him a lot. Like, as soon as he got back, he would go again. I was quite surprised by all of it. But when he actually got out, I think that's when the entire family had to deal with it. And so I learned a lot from him. I minimized his struggle at first until I sent for him and he came to Virginia. And that is when I got to see it for myself. And I learned a very valuable lesson then. I'm not ashamed to say that. I would just tell him, hey, this is just what you need to do. This is what you need to do, and this is what you need to do. I learned not to minimize someone else's trauma, because what he continued to tell me was that I did not understand, and the truth is that I didn't. I also learned how to love someone in their struggles. It takes perseverance. It takes endurance. It's not something you give up on. I was happy to share that time with him. I took him to a barber shop. I can remember the smile on his face after we left, and he looked sharp. And yeah, I think it's important that we take the memories with us. I wanted him to be proud of himself, and I wanted him to feel good about himself. And I honestly thought it was as easy as, if I just take really good care of him, if I just give him a really good meal, if I just spend really good quality time with him, he'll start realizing like how much we really love him and stuff like that. And I think in all of that, he showed me this is bigger. This is bigger than what you know. This is bigger than what you understand. And so what I try to think about now are the last moments, are the times that we share. I think the hard thing about when someone passing away is that the world doesn't stop. They don't really pause long enough. That's the way everyone kind of feels when someone passes away, because if they're dear to your heart, then a week is not long enough to grieve. Like, it's months later now, and there are still times when I'm just like, okay, he's really not here with us still on earth. But I think it's also important to talk to somebody. If you've got siblings, that's even greater. Like, we're in the COVID pandemic. This is what's been going on for a while, and there have been a lot of people to pass away. I think that when someone close passes and you know them, it reminds you this life is temporary. Sometimes we think of our lives as a video game, and it reminds us that you're only here for so long. So when I think about him, I always think about, what are you doing? Like, I feel like he's looking over my shoulder and telling me, like, live your life. Try to do the best that you can. So a lot of times I will reflect and I'll say, you know, am I doing the best that I can right now? Am I living on purpose? I think I have reached a point now I think for a while I was just spaced out, but now I'm at a point where I realize this is what it is. Whenever I do make it home again, I think the same thing happened with someone else that passed away in my family. When I finally did make it back home, it was very different. I was almost looking for them, you know, like, where are they? And then your mind tells you they're not here. And so sometimes it is, it's a reminder for us all. You're living, you're breathing. What are you doing though? Like, what are you focusing on? With mental health being a part of all of this, it reminds me that I need to be investing in making sure that my mind stays stable. I need to keep communication lines open. I need to be honest. I need to be transparent with those lines, whether it's my siblings, whether it's a therapist, whether it's a counselor. I need to be honest with them, and that takes me being honest with myself. When there are tough times, it's okay to say this is tough. Like, I find comfort in sharing things about him with my children, passing along really important lessons, whether it's the time we got in a fight, like anytime we got into some trouble, which I have a lot of those stories, or the times that he rose over and above. Like, he was a very giving person, so we never could quite understand what allowed him to give, as if there was no limit to what he had. Like, I think it's good that you take the good and the bad when someone passes away. Like, don't lay them to rest and only talk about the good, because when it's a part of your bloodline, when it's a part of your family, there are a lot of lessons there that could be learned and that could stop the continuation or the cycle within families. So I know that he was loved. I know that he loved me. And though there are some things about life that you will never quite understand until you get to go on and meet God. And if that question is still on my mind or on your mind, perhaps you'll get the opportunity to ask him. But there are some things in life with living that you just may not be able to answer. But I'm very thankful to have been given the opportunity, even the opportunity to show him love before he left. I think those things are important. And so I hope that in your walk, in your journey of life, I know this was such a personal video, but I know that when people pass away, it hurts. But let's not miss the beauty of even having the opportunity of knowing them and the lessons that they taught us. Some of them were really hard, and some of them, let's not forget to laugh. And when it comes to my brother David, I'm not going to forget to give. Like, I want to be giving. I want to have a childlike heart. I want to live a life to where if he can ask me one day, like, did you do what you needed to do? Did you do what you were put there to do? Then I want to be able to tell him yes. So we're still here breathing. Let's try to live the best life we can.